Hey Mashi Millionaires. Today I'm going to show you how to achieve this look using, of course, the Legacy palette as well as our Bare lipstick and Fantasy eyelashes. This is a very simple look, so I've done a step-by-step tutorial for you ladies just so you can practice while you're at home. Let me know how it goes. Okay ladies, so first I'm going to start by prepping my face. I'm going to prime my skin with the Maybelline Baby Skin Pore Instant Eraser. I love this primer because it's so, I feel like it's good for sensitive skin and it just glides onto your skin effortlessly. Make sure you get it all over your face, as it causes, the aim is to protect your skin. Next thing, we're going to get to the brows. So firstly, I brush my eyebrows using a spoolie just to be able to see the natural shape and direction of my eyebrows, which makes it easier when I need to fill them in. To fill my eyebrows in, I'm using the Benefit My Brow Pencil, and I'm just going to follow the natural shape of my eyebrows. I feel like it's a very personal thing when it comes to shaping of your eyebrows, because we all don't want our eyebrows the same. Some people really want them thick and almost getting to a hairline. I like to just follow the natural shape of my brows as they are currently. Take your spoolie and just keep brushing up if you feel like you can't really see the natural direction of your brows, and follow and trace your brows. I do the same with the next brow. Once again, as I said, you take your spoolie, you brush your brows up, and then you follow the natural shape of your eyebrows. I will do another tutorial one day on how you can, shape or learn how to actually shape your brows if you do have stubborn brows. I'll show you how you actually see where your brow should start, peak, and end. To clean up the brows, we follow up with a concealer. I'm using the Maybelline concealer. I like putting my products on the back of my hand. I feel like it makes it easy for me to work with the product. And then I take my angled brush and I, slowly trace around the brow just to give it the shape. I don't fuss too much when I'm drawing the brows because I do know that I'm going to follow up with the concealer to give it the shape that I want. Make sure that you are dragging that concealer down into your eyelids because we are going to use that as the base of your eyeshadow later. Also trace along the top of your brow, not too much, because remember we do have the foundation that will actually be covering the top, but just for order, a bit of order. I like it. It makes the brows a lot more neat when you do both the top and the bottom. Remember, drag that concealer down into your eyelids to form or to create that base for your eyeshadow later. What I then do is take a smaller smudging brush and I tap gently tap into my eyelid just to make sure that the concealer that I'm putting on is nicely set and it's, smoothed into my skin and it's not obviously there. So you take the brush and you just tap into that concealer, tap it into your skin. Do the same with the next eye and make sure that you also then take more product and put it onto your eyelid to create a base for your eyeshadow later. There I go now again with my concealer, this time more on the bottom of the lid or the center of the lid, and I'm going to use that same smudging brush to tap that product into my eyes and almost setting it, before we actually put any powder onto it. A trick that works for me because I've got hooded eyes is to take your setting powder and put that where, use that to set the concealer that you've put onto your eyes, and also just gently put it or press it onto your eyebrows. This is a little hack that I have added into my routine because I've got hooded eyes, and with hooded eyes, eyeshadow tends to crease a lot. So this step, I have found that it makes my eyeshadow actually last a bit much more longer than it normally would. The exciting part, our Legacy palette. On this palette today we're going to use 3 colors. We're going to use a shade called Dinyeleti, a shade called Power, and a shade called Tsakani. I start with the shade Tsakani just to give a bit of a neutral or natural shade. This will be your transition shade, as they call it. So I gently rub that into my eyes, all over your eyelid. Just, gently rub that. Smooth it into your brows. Into your eyelids. Gently distribute that eyeshadow throughout the eyelid. We're going to repeat that step on the next eye with the shade Tsakani, just using that as our transition shade. I do tend to take my time with the transition shade, or actually with any other hue, because I do want to make sure that my eyeshadow is blended in without any clumps, The next shade we're going to go into is the darker shade, which will go into the corner of our eyes, which is called Powerful. That will go there on the side or corner of my eye, and I'll gently tap that in, forming almost like a C shape. Gently tap, 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 tap that in on the corner of your eye. It creates that definition on your eye. Okay, now that we are almost done tapping that product into the corner of our eyes, giving a bit of definition, just make sure that you blend your eyeshadow in. Remember that you are working with other colors, so you do want them to blend and you don't want a color looking really out of place. So blend that and take your time when you do apply your eyeshadow. Next up, I take a much smaller brush, and with that brush I'm going to go into the shade Dinyeleti, and I'm going to, gently put that into the inner corner of my eye, working it up to meet the other color that I was putting on the edge of the eye. You see, so the aim is to try and get them to blend with each other. Once again, I emphasize, make sure that you take your time when you're blending your eyeshadow. Blend it in so that it does not look like it's a color on its own. It is blending with the rest of the colors that have already been applied to the eye. I like going back to the eyes once I'm done with my eyeshadow, going back with the brush that I was using on the outer corner and making sure once again that I am blending that color into the color that has been applied into the inner corner of the eye. The next step is your liquid liner. Now the trick that I've learned with the liquid liner is to put your hand flat on the table and apply. Once you have a sturdy hand, it makes the application a lot more easier than if you just have your hand just flying around. We all know liquid liner is a bit tricky, right, ladies? When you get to the inner corners, just tap, 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 tap. I've learned this skill. It's a bit of a hack that I recently discovered. Just tap the liquid liner into the corners of the eyes and you'll see that the line will actually form on its own without you feeling like you need to trace your eye. Go back with your brush to fix any mistakes that may have happened with the liner. Always remember not to try and fix it immediately. Let the product dry out first and then you can go in with your eyeshadow brush and just, fix that. Next up, we've got our foundation. I'm using the Clarins Everlasting Matte Foundation. I've recently just started using this foundation. I love it because I love the finish. I'm using the MAC foundation brush, which I'm actually enjoying quite a lot because I normally use a makeup sponge when I apply foundation. However, I'm finding that this brush really does apply very well when I'm using my liquid foundations. Always remember to bring your foundation all the way down, just beneath your chin, just so that it blends. Okay, now that we're done with our foundation, we are now going to use the Maybelline concealer just to highlight under the eyes. So both under eyes, and then I also highlight just on my forehead a little bit, going down to my nose. I take a sponge and I use the bottom of that sponge to get a really precise application, because I want, to have that very sharp type of finish when it comes to a concealer. So I also drag my concealer upwards so that it gives you an instant facelift, and it also helps you clean up your eyeshadow in a way as well. So you drag that down to your nose, the bottom of your nose, taking it back up almost in like a V, a shape of a V, and you can see how it just instantly lifts your face. We're going to do the same underneath the other eye. Once again, you're dragging it up and down, almost into a V shape. Okay, now that we are done blending our concealer, the next step is our setting powder. I'm using the Smudge Banana Powder. I'm really enjoying this setting powder. I find other powders are just a bit too light for me, make my skin look gray, but I love the yellow undertone of this setting powder. So with the setting powder, I always make sure that I follow where the concealer was. Wherever I had applied concealer is where I will put the setting powder. So as you can see, I've put it under the eyes, and I'm putting it on my forehead because that's where I had originally also put the concealer. The other thing I do is to put it just beneath your cheekbone, dragging it down to meet almost the corner of your mouth. This will give you a bit of definition, especially if you have a chubby face like mine. I use this to almost give the illusion of a bit of definition on my face. To bring it all together, I use my Studio Fix powder. My shade is 44.5, and I will just put that powder all over my face. It also warms up my face. I find that besides the fact that it kind of blends all the products that I've put on my face together nicely, it also just brings a bit of warmth to my face. We're going to go back to the eyeshadow palette and go into the shade Powerful, which is the one that we had used on the top outer corner of the eye, just to now blend those two colors and bring them together. I'm going to now put them on the bottom of my eyelid. I'm not much of a fan of pencil liners, so I would much rather use an eyeshadow to give a bit of definition under the eye. So if you are also like me, you can use this trick just to bring that eyeshadow almost to line the bottom of your eye. Next, we're going to apply mascara. The importance of this is that when you're applying your lashes later, it helps to blend the your own lashes with the lash straps that you will be using. So remember, you don't need to apply too much of it. It's really just for us to be able to see where exactly we are putting our lashes later. So you don't have to put too much. That's perfect. Now onto our eyelashes. Today we're using the Style Fantasy. Remember to always size your lashes. So I've got a pair of scissors because I always size or check the size of my the lashes to my eyes. I have very small eyes, so I always have to make sure I cut and trim to size. As you can see, the left, hold them in this way so that you know which one is which one goes to the left eye and which one goes to the right eye. Naturally, you'd also just see which side is shorter, almost like shorter going outwards and becoming bigger. Then that's how you can tell which eye your lashes should go onto. Apply your glue, carefully apply it along the strip of the lash, and then let them dry out a little bit for about 30 seconds or so to let them get tacky and for the glue to be more effective. Don't apply your lashes immediately after putting on your glue. Just let it dry a bit, let it set onto the lashes. So what I always do is I hold the center of the lash straps or strips, and I will put them, look down into a mirror, and I will then put them on the center of the eye, and then I will shape them and pull as I need to. Applying lashes is something that you need to take your time with because, as you know, the lash styles are different, so it won't always be a very fast thing for you to do. So give yourself time to really size them up and make sure that you are sticking them on and they are comfortable and you're not putting them too close to the corner of your eye, because then that could cause irritation. I do the same with the next eye. I hold the center of that lash strip, and then I put on the center there of my eye, and as you can see, I then try to position it correctly on both sides of the eye. Make sure once you've glued the lash onto your eye that you then use your own fingers to press the fake lashes with your own natural lashes so that they blend and look like they are your own natural lashes. Next up, I'm going to use the Bronzing Glow Pearls from Avon. I normally would contour, but today I felt like just bronzing up my skin. I just felt like doing it. So we're just going to take that up onto the top of our cheeks, or cheekbone rather, dragging it up. And what I also do is I will drag it even further than the top of the cheekbone, so you will see I'll also take it up to my forehead, and I will also take it to the bottom of my chin. Next up, to highlight, I use the MAC highlighter, and I will just on the top of, the very top part of my cheeks, I will put that highlighter just where the sun would naturally hit you at, those very points where the sun would naturally hit you. That's where you will put your highlighter. So the very top of your cheeks is where you put your highlighter. Then of course your nose. I don't always do this step because we are, in a pandemic right now. So I know the nose is usually the part that gets wiped off with because of the masks that we are currently wearing. But should you, be doing this for fun, you definitely can do the nose as I'm doing, and then the top of your, the corners of your forehead, where the light naturally hits you. The exciting part, then we end off our look with our bare lipstick, the She Millionaire Bare Lipstick. This part here is optional. I don't always line my lips, but today I just felt like lining them. You also see I line them quite softly, gently, not too heavy or too dark. Once I'm done lining the lips, I go in with my lipstick, which is called Bare. Once you're done with your look, remember to set it. I'm using the Smudge Matte Finishing Spray. Just spray that all over your face and let it dry. Let it sit in there and, pull everything together, all the products that you just put on your face. Let it dry, girl. Let it dry. Another thing that I love doing is taking like a gold pencil eyeliner, and I will put it on the corners of my eyes. I love how it really gives a bit of pop to your look. I'm using the Essence eyeliner pencil here. Because I'm now looking like a snack, I thought I should change my earrings too, because I'm just loving this look so much. Fix my hair up and you're done. Please do try this look at home and let me know, send me pictures, tag us. We'd love to see you using the Legacy eyeshadow palette or the Bare lipstick. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and do tag us when you do create your own masterpieces with our Legacy palette. Have a good one. Bye.